You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Happy Jupiter day. And boy, are we going to be feeling those Jupiter vibes. We're talking about Jupiter. The moon is in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. The energy for you, just give you permission to let those emotions out. Is here. Rachel is here. I just had a beautiful reading with our friend Katie, who is often on the live stream as well. And I am feeling so abundant and joyous after connecting with another one of you face to face. But I will ask as well, I do the readings through the same platform as the live stream. So let me know if you're experiencing any glitches or lags on your end. The service was being a little funky when I was meeting with Katie. So let me know, my remote producers out there, how the live stream is looking on your end. Yes, it was so wonderful. It's been such a joy, like those of you who show up every day, to connect with you individually. Okay, there was a little bit of lag, but I seem fine now. Fingers crossed. Send good energy to the stream. Hello again, Katie. More days till your wedding. Are you getting excited? Okay, let's talk about the energy. Oh, and before we get into that, we've got to do our notable birthdays today. I'm really not seeing that many, but Theodore Roosevelt was a Scorpio. Okay, all right, Teddy. Sylvia Plath. Yep. Kelly Osbourne. Okay, Scorpio vibes, definitely. John Cleese. All right, we got a few Scorpios to tap into the energy of. Let me know, though, if you're a Scorpio, if you know someone celebrating their birthday, their solar return. We want to celebrate them, too. Rachel's leaving tonight for Diane's wedding. No, it's not you. Okay, it is laggy. Oh, my goodness. Might just be my Wi-Fi, my friends. You guys, I'm so excited. It's your bestie's birthday. Happy birthday to Corby's best friend. I love celebrating each and every one of you. Okay, well, hopefully the Scorpio, the moon is now in Sagittarius, and I got to change that. So there we go. I'll show you right now. And here's a look at the current chart. So we have a few major transits to talk about today, and then we're just going to tap into the energy of the Sagittarius moon. All right, so the sun at 4 degrees Scorpio, Venus is still right there, pulling away from the conjunction. We're not feeling it as intensely, but Venus is still very close to the sun. So that's something to keep in mind. There is an energy of love in the air, of relationships still being the focus, but that pressure is starting to loosen of Venus on the sun. Not that it was a bad pressure. It was a lot for an extended period of time. And then, as you see, the moon now in Sagittarius, pulling away from the new moon to the waxing crescent moon. Yeah, I know. I know it's acting up. Hang with me, friends. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Then I would have to restart the stream. So thank you, Corby. I appreciate you. Let's talk about the first major transit of the day before we talk about Jupiter, and that is Mercury squaring Pluto. Speaking of technology acting up, Mercury squaring Pluto. Anytime we have a square, there's tension, but when Mercury squares Pluto, there can be overthinking or obsessive thoughts, really intense communication, powerful communication as well, but this feels more like tension or even dark thoughts coming up, potentially deep thinking as well. This can make us a little bit more compulsive with our words, again, obsessive or even addictive with our thoughts. Power struggles could play out with Mercury and Libra. There's an energy of debate already. And with Pluto there, it could be like debates go a little too far or get a little too deep and turn into arguments. So we want to be aware with technology today. How do we use this energy, this intense energy? Well, psychological deep dives are definitely favored with Mercury squaring Pluto. So really taking the energy and going within, getting more intimate with ourselves, with our own patterns, with our own thought processes, with our own ways of thinking, our tendencies, things like that. Especially with Pluto and Capricorn, it's transforming and disrupting structures. So what mental thoughts, patterns, structures are being disrupted? That's kind of what Pluto is bringing to our attention. Internet has been weird today. Didn't even think of it until I heard you from the other room. Well, what do we do? Mercury squaring Pluto. Oh, thank you, Katie. I'm so glad you enjoyed the reading. And she was such a trooper sticking with the internet too. She even tried to move her computer. A lot of time to really understand. Like even just now, I think I probably flashed or something weird happened on the screen. I don't know. Mercury squaring Pluto. Yeah, your internet has been slow too. Maybe it's just the world. Maybe it's 5G. I don't know. We rely so heavily on the internet, and we can only do this together every day because of the internet, but it really pisses me off sometimes. And technology could be pissing you off. Mercury squaring Pluto. Maybe you're not having power struggles with each other. Maybe you're having power struggles with technology today. That's definitely a possibility. Oh, you all are so sweet. Thank you so much for the kind words. I love getting to know you all through your birth charts. It's one of the most fulfilling things I do in my very busy schedule. Every time, Julian can attest to it, I walk out of my office and I'm like, that was so amazing. I loved meeting this person. So Mercury squaring Pluto could also have really powerful conversations. Business would pretty working from home and the internet goes out. I get so frustrated. You're doing good though. Okay. This is why we love Rachel. Rachel is just like the cheerleader in the comments. We freaking love her. I'm very anxious for tomorrow's weekend forecast, seeing Saturday's astrology because of the wedding. Literally hanging on your every word. Well, don't obsess over it today. Mercury is squaring Pluto. We don't want to obsess over it. I'm looking right now at what's ahead because I have not been as tuned into the days ahead this week. It's been a wild time coming off of this eclipse. Of course, we'll dive into it more tomorrow, but actually, you know what I realized when I was looking? The next few days are pretty quiet for you, and that might be kind of nice for a wedding. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but don't obsess. Don't fear it. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be exactly what it needs to be. Internet issues in Hawaii too. Oh, It's Mercury. Mercury. That is actually such a great expression of Mercury in Leo. I love it. Okay, so Mercury squaring Pluto, tech issues, maybe some communication issues, maybe some really intense thoughts and words. Scorpio stellium is beautiful for them. Yeah, yes, and Venus will still be conjunct the sun. I mean, such a beautiful time to get married, especially with all of your Scorpio energy. And oh, I can't wait to share pictures. I feel like this is like a family now, you know, all of us together. And aren't you all so excited to see pictures of Diane's wedding? Like, so we can just virtually like imagine what it would be like to be there in the fall with all the Scorpio energy. I think the moon will be in Capricorn for you, I want to say. I'll have to double check that tomorrow, but I think the moon will have just moved into Capricorn for you, which is really great for commitment. Oh, and now the live stream isn't going to let me switch. There we go. Come on, Mercury. Come on. Jupiter was in Pisces from December 28th of 2021 until, I believe, yes, May 11th of 2022. So there was a solid stretch there with Jupiter in Pisces. And we are going to be revisiting some of the things that came up during that period, during that 5 months. So Jupiter in Pisces in general is a really positive placement because Jupiter is at home in Pisces. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. Before Neptune was discovered, Jupiter ruled Pisces. And that means Jupiter is in a really positive position here. Jupiter is already associated with positivity, abundance, manifestation, optimism, good fortune, all these things. And spiritual beliefs and maybe even the ascension that happened at the beginning of the year when Jupiter was moving through Pisces through May. So Jupiter's been in Aries for the past 6 months or so. We've been eager and ambitious to start things, take on new projects, very optimistic about the things that we're starting. But since Jupiter stationed retrograde back in July 28th is how long Jupiter has been retrograde. We've been really reflecting on how much we've grown, reviewing our motivations, making some adjustments to those new endeavors, maybe being like, oh, what did I just start? Like a lot was started between May and July. A lot was started between May and July, and now has been kind of this like, oh, what did we start? And kind of reviewing what we started with Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter moving back into Pisces just broadens the awareness of the growth. It's more about faith. Pisces. It's really a time between now December 20th. So Jupiter will move back into Aries on December 20th. So it will station direct in there in Pisces, and especially Jupiter direct in Pisces, which I don't have the exact date on my brain right now, but sometime in, I believe, November, early December, that is going to be a really potent little couple weeks of spiritual clarity and optimism and growth spiritually. So get ready for that. And this is just kind of priming us for it as Jupiter moves back into Pisces right now. It's really just, I think it'll be beautiful too that this is happening around the holidays, a time where spirituality and coming together is just more recognized and we're more in that element, that vibe. So remembering our spirituality, remembering healing modalities. Necessarily subscribe to all the structures and things of religion, and I relate to, but maybe there's some renewed hope or restored hope and faith in religion if you do happen to be part of religious rituals and things like that over the next couple months. You might even feel like with Jupiter retrograde, you're going back to a former version of your spirituality or a former belief system that you used to subscribe to. So remember, this transit also amplifies creativity, imagination, psychic abilities. Maybe a creative project that was started with Jupiter and Pisces at the beginning of the year is coming back around with Jupiter retrograde. We're revisiting a lot of the beautiful opportunities that popped up with Jupiter and Pisces. I freaking love this transit, even Jupiter retrograde. I just think it's beautiful. Even now with Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, you're revisiting those travel plans, a practice you started spiritually at the beginning of the year that you're going to pick back up with Jupiter retrograde, or any expansive opportunities, spiritually or otherwise, that popped up at the beginning of the year but didn't quite play out, could come back into the picture with Jupiter retrograde and Pisces. So this also feels like an opportunity. With Jupiter, there's always an opportunity. It feels like an opportunity to be like, what dreams or ambitions or ideas or philosophies did I kind of play with at the beginning of the year that I forgot about? That's a great way to tap into this energy. Was literally doing a review of that time and what I was thinking, feeling, dreaming of. Beautiful. Yeah, and if you're somebody who journals, I know a lot of you journal, maybe going back to your journal entries. Rising or a Pisces rising, Jupiter is your ruling planet. So this is a really of it. I'm ready to birth the thing. I can't wait to see what you birth. And there's so much wisdom with Jupiter and Pisces, really. And with wisdom and optimism, it's like such an expansive transit. Even retrograde, it feels very expansive. Every minute we lose you for 15 seconds, just a heads up. Okay. So freaking weird. Well, I appreciate you all still being here. Diane talking about her wedding, and everybody is saying that they hope she has a good wedding day. She says, I always feel like right around winter solstice has always felt magical. Yeah, it really, I mean, there's a reason many religions celebrate holidays around that time of year. It's very dark. It's time to beliefs, right? We're all around a fire, or hope we can see the stars more clearly. I always felt so aligned at that time, with each day growing longer, starting from the shortest day on. The sun returns. Yeah, it's like there's so much potential on the winter solstice because the days are only going to grow longer from there. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry that this is not streaming well. Hopefully tomorrow is better. There's nothing to do about it. But we're going to be optimistic because Jupiter's moving back into Pisces. So we're just going to stay optimistic, and it'll be easy to do that, speaking of, because the moon is in Sagittarius, just really amplifying the Jupiter and energy, amplifying that optimism. When the moon is in Sagittarius, we tend to be a little bit more social, but especially because this is a waxing crescent moon, now we're planning, we're preparing. Like, yeah, we have this idea. We're just going to trust and be spontaneous in the moment. That feels like the energy of this waxing crescent moon in Sagittarius. Gratitude is super, super powerful when it comes to the Sagittarius moon. always, but especially when the moon is in Sagittarius in this very grateful, generous sign. It's a great way to tap into that optimistic energy. And you might find yourself making plans for Friday to be more outgoing, to be more social, just getting really excited about, you know, this Halloween weekend and the events that are coming up. You might be feeling that excitement or anticipation building. Now, the only connection the Sagittarius moon made today was right when it moved into Sagittarius. This was at, 4 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, you really gained the full potential of this transit. I'm going to jump back a few hours here so you can see it together. Let's see. The moon trine Jupiter. The moon degrees, or excuse me. Yes, at 0 degrees. I got to think about this. Yes, because Jupiter was still in Aries this morning. Jupiter doesn't move back into Pisces actually until 10:10 tonight Pacific time. So right now, Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Aries. So you definitely a feeling of optimism and like go mode still. But Jupiter will move back into Pisces tonight. So I say all of that. When the moon moved into Sagittarius, it was like this final connection the moon made with Jupiter before it moves back into Pisces right away. And what does that do for us? It gives us a zing of energy, optimism, waking up, hitting the ground running, being really excited about the day ahead. Might have even woken you up from a sleep early in the morning, depending on where you're. Fortune, apparently not with the independent vibes today. Yeah, Rachel, that's probably why I'm in such a good mood right now, feeling that optimism. And thank freaking goodness, after the Scorpio solar eclipse, I had this thought today about Scorpio energy, and you know how the signs just kind of build upon each other, and it feels like Scorpio energy is realizing the chains that are binding us, and Sagittarius energy is breaking free from them. So, this is kind of this expansive end to the week that's been a pretty intense week of just like, we are unbridled, we're ready to go, we're optimistic, we've seen the darkness, we got through it, we can handle it. Now it's time to run headfirst into the light. And you're all being very optimistic. Keep up your toxic optimism about the stream too, which I really before it for you. I needed this break. I've had so many breakdowns these past couple days. I'm kind of like, woo, I can breathe now. Yeah, the moon's away from our Pluto. We've gone through the hardest part of the forecast for a little bit. It's going to get a lot lighter. And Jupiter in Pisces feels lighter even. Okay, let's return to our affirmation. I'm kind of speeding through the forecast since it's being glitchy, but that's okay. That's the energy of today. It's like, woo, the moon's in Sagittarius. We can all celebrate that we got through the eclipse. The affirmation of the day today, which I just realized I did not update, but we're being spontaneous. We're rolling with it. Let me see. Here it goes. Our affirmation of the day. It is safe for me to be hopeful. It is safe for me to be hopeful. I think a lot of times those of us who have a difficult time being optimistic hope. You know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Whatever needs to come through is going to come through. If it pauses, if it lags, if it glitches, you're still here. You're still receiving the message you need to receive. It's safe for me to be hopeful. And I'm hopeful that tomorrow the internet will be a little bit better. Loving this Sag energy, Katie says, going to see what my Sagittarius brother is up to and if he wants to hang out and do something fun. Oh, I love that you have a Sagittarius brother. We talked so much about Sag energy in your reading, and I feel like he can really help you lean into that fun vibe. That's amazing. Listen, Rachel, what a last few days it has been. I went through all the emotions. Yeah, Sun and Moon in Scorpio is a lot. It is. It is. It was so much. You got through it, and now you can celebrate yourself. Look at how freaking awesome you are and strong you are, and the fact that even all the shit you just went through, you showed up. Just go away, but we can celebrate the time. Hopeful, feeling like if I let my guard down and get hopeful, everything will crash. Or like, I don't want to be disappointed, right? Like, that's for me what it is. Like, I get my hopes up and then I'm disappointed. So today's the day. It's safe to be hopeful. And being hopeful, being in the energy of like excitement about, and almost like believing, trusting, feels very Sagittarius. Believing like, I'm going to be hopeful about the possibility here and trust that if it's meant for me, it's going to unfold. And then trust that if it's not meant for me, that's not what was meant for me. And that's okay too. And I don't have to be disappointed about it. I can just continue being hopeful about it was that or better. So something better is coming along. All the hell was worth it. We've come on the other side stronger. Yes, we have. Oh, the energy today is great. Loving this. My North Node in Sagittarius is feeling it. I'm like, yep. For the worst, I always called myself a realist, not a pessimist. And we're going to finish up with a tarot pull from the Starseed Oracle, very Jupiter in Pisces. We'll see what other mystical, spiritual wisdom wants to come through. Hi, Heather on Instagram. And you know the deal. This is your time to share any final insights, anything that maybe any little stagnant energy you might still need to release from the Scorpio eclipse, or just anything you want to celebrate that's going on in your life. We love that. Shuffle a few times here. Let's see what other message needs to come through. Hopefully this message comes through clearly, but whatever needs to come through is going to come through. Okay. If you're joining me, if you're seeing me, if you're hearing me, hopefully, let's all breathe together. Take a deep breath in. Jump in is the card we got. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Adventure is very Sagittarius energy. It's just like a woman jumping into a galactic eye. Jump in. That is really feeling on point for how we're all feeling. Here's what it says. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy, the closest galaxy to the Milky Way. It's believed that Andromedan starseeds are a group of beings who love their freedom. Sagittarius, hello. Very adaptable, they have a strong willingness and ability to change and go with the flow, to find the calm in the chaos, to swim with the tides. This card is here to encourage you to do the same. Perhaps you have a significant goal or opportunity ahead of you. If so, you're being called to jump in. Don't wait for permission. Don't stall until you feel ready. Take a deep breath and a good old left to do is leap. You'll figure out the details as you go along. Life on Earth rarely is. However, it's the rougher seas that teach us how to sail with glory. And once you know that, you can navigate any sea, ocean, or storm. The Andromedans want you to fall in love with surfing the waves of life, to seek more adventures, to embrace your own adaptability, and find a way to be the calm in the chaos. You didn't come to Earth to be passive. You came to Earth to truly live. Now take a good run and leap. How can you become more adventurous? How are you being called to jump right on in and leap? I love the card pull at the end because it always brings something else up that I'm like, oh, I wanted to mention this. There's a lot of mutable energy that we're talking about today. Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Jupiter is moving back into the mutable sign of Pisces. So I feel like it's really calling us to be flexible and go with the flow, just as the cards said. And just came to me for what it's worth. Yeah, screaming like, woohoo! Yeah, it's almost your season. Yes, Corby, I love it. Jumping in with no fear. This card is fitting for us ride or dies with our internet issues today. We're just doing it. We're just in it. We're jumping in. It's okay if it's messy. It's okay if you get water everywhere or whatever. We're going to just do it messy and do it anyway. We all got this. Always follow your intuition and just do it. And also this card feels very like, as we pull it, Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Aries, which is very just like, just do it. Just jump in. You know, it's like really raw, eager energy that we're feeling right now. Jupiter at like the very beginning of Pisces, or at Aries, excuse me. Jupiter moving back into Pisces should feel more like flow and trust. So I think that's probably a bunch of the energy we're feeling too. It's Jupiter day. The moon is ruled by Jupiter right now. For too much longer here. Plan and not rush. And this is the time to do it. Planning. We're in the planning phase. We don't have to quite take action yet, but jump in and imagine what the outcomes could be. Be hopeful, be optimistic, and just jumping in could just be taking one little step, putting one toe in the pool today. Might be just planning the jump today, and that's okay too. Taking a little action is better than wondering what would happen if you took action. This made my day too. My Sag rising sun will be home soon. Oh, he's going to be feeling himself with the moon in Sag. Yeah. If not today, tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Nick. You're so funny. Left your friends to come watch. Well, I adore you all. I'm so grateful you stuck with me through this laggy live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that the energy continues. Gratitude. I've had a couple moments like that already today too. So I feel so abundant having you here. Love you all. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed the internet is on our side tomorrow. Mercury stops messing with us. But until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.